This week on the Next Level YouTube channel, we're talking about how to do a hopover. Let's do it. Woo! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Next Level YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about a maneuver that has literally changed the snowmobile industry, the hopover. Let's get into it. All right, guys, before we get started, remember to subscribe. Your guys' subscriptions, they're so helpful to what we're doing here on the Next Level channel. It helps us out a ton. All right, so the hopover, to many people, I think as it first got started, and speaking of how it got started, I've got to give props to Chris Brand is easily one of the first guys that I'd ever seen really perfect the hopover. There are guys now, Cody Monroe, Caleb Kosturki, Andy Thomas. There are a boatload of people that are out there, Jay Manaberry, lots of guys even on Skidoos that are out there really dialing in the hopover. So it's not sled specific, it's not person specific, but there are definitely a lot of reasons why the hopover kind of started as a stunt. Now it's used as one of the most necessary tools in your toolbox. All right, so to do a hopover, confidence in your side hilling, I mean, that's the key, right? That's key to this whole thing. Your success of the hopover, both left side or right side, is going to be how comfortable you are with doing left or right side hill. You have to come in with a bunch of momentum, picking the right slope. That's another one. There'll be a lot of questions about what is the right slope. And you'll see from the video, guys, that there can be areas where you can approach these things as you're practicing them on flat ground, but then have a steep hill above you, which is a great way to practice these things. It's also, I would say it's a good idea to practice where you don't have a ton of consequence below you. Like I would plan for some failed attempts here. But coming in with some momentum, remember that the foot position is key. I'm going to be coming in with my foot sort of midway on the running board. When I decide to do the hopover, I'm not guessing, I'm not surprising myself. I'm coming in literally counting it down. So I'm looking ahead, I'm anticipating when and where I'm going to do this. When I am ready to do it, I'm going to move that foot back on the running board. I'm bringing that foot that is not on the running board forward. And so as I crank and I am letting that sled seek the fall line uphill, that foot is out there, it is planted. At the same time that I'm planting that foot, that's where momentum comes into play. All right, I've got to be on the gas as I come uphill, literally wanting that sled to just transition from going horizontal to straight up the fall line. As it does that, I'm going to stay on the gas, that foot that is planted. Once it's planted and I feel that snowmobile make that commitment to that uphill line, that foot, you're going to see it springboard off the snow. Boom, here it goes. I've used that and kind of pendulumed around it, not unlike we're doing a downhill 180 where we've talked about putting that foot out there and turning around it. I'm putting that foot out there against the hillside, and as soon as that sled starts to come up the fall line, it goes back. And when it goes back, my other foot goes with it. So as it's orbiting around the sled in that hopover position that we all have seen and we love, and that's what I think is getting us so drawn into the hopover, I am still on the gas. So I'm on the gas all the way around as I transition from that low side, right, the uphill side as I was going left across there, to that uphill side, landing on that upper running board. As soon as I land, where that foot is on the running board, it'll be dependent on how I transitioned over. But remember, the moment I land there, I'm going to try to get back into that side hill position that we all know about. 40 degree on the running board, my knee is bent. If I've got to make that adjustment, I can unweight my foot on the running board with that foot against the snow. Now I'm uphill side of the sled, maybe burn the brake if I'm a bit out of control, get myself positioned, and then away I go in the opposite direction. All right, guys, so a bit more detail. You can tell that I have positioned my sled right back in the rut where I just finished a hopover. So as I come across this hillside, and in this case, I just came across nearly flat ground. I just wanted to really showcase what it is that we were doing, but I'm coming across in a horizontal fashion. So I've kind of started my way up where I'm going to let that sled seek the fall line. So as I came across, 40 degree on the running board, like I said, I'm about a foot back from the toe loop. But man, in this position, as I'm starting to go uphill, I've brought that foot that's on the running board way to the back of the sled, and then you guys will see my foot placement. So I have literally stepped out here with that foot, and remember that that foot's going to stay there just for a second. So as I'm here, I'm counter steered away from the hill, lots of momentum right here. I'm looking uphill. As that sled starts to go and it's heading straight up that fall line, here's that key, is that the moment I planted that foot is now leaving and it's taking this one with it. So as I plant, I push off, I start that hop over position, lots of throttle as I enter, and I'm going straight up into that fall line. Remember, I'm gonna stay on the throttle. It's sitting there chewing and it's in that vertical spot. I'm already transitioning way over to the other side. And the key here, right, is I gotta stay remembering to breathe. So I'm breathing, I'm making a good hop, getting up and over it, and letting that sled level out. So as it comes up like this, a lot of people, they stay leaning in, they stay keeping their body into the hillside, and you'll still get it done, but you're actually not letting that sled lay flat. So as I make this hop and I turn the corner, you can see from my trench mark, the snowmobile goes flat to where all 15 inches of that Polaris track is in that trough going straight uphill. When that happens and I'm in that hop, remember, I am pulling back, getting that snowmobile to rear up. I literally want it to trench in this spot, and it's all about timing. If I just stay there, that sled doesn't know, and it's not gonna do it for me. It's just gonna get stuck straight up in the fall line, and that'll probably happen to a lot of you while you're practicing it. But as I go up, remember, it's trenching, I've let it lay flat, I am orbiting around the seat, getting ready to land, and you guys will see from my foot tracks, I'll land on that running board, but I don't put that foot against the snow, that other foot up there once I get to high side. I mean, I've stepped here, and the next evidence of me putting a foot down is all the way up there. All right, so do you need a modified snowmobile? You know, the answer is, with modified snowmobiles versus stock sleds, is it's always about opportunity. You know, a modified sled, the sled that I am doing the hop over video on today, guys, is yes, this is a Carl Cycle 900. It's got lightweight everything, Skins product, the lightweight seat and tank, the front end, different suspension, cut tunnel, Nex-Tech carbon skid. This sled is well over 50 pounds lighter than stock. Does it make it easier to snowmobile and also to do tricks like a hop over, a bow tie, re-entries, all those things? And the answer is certainly. It really does help make those maneuvers more possible. Can you get it done on a stock sled? The answer is absolutely yes. Do you come into it with more momentum? Do you have to kind of search throughout that terrain and find terrain that gives you a helping hand? In other words, when I'm trying to do a hop over and I'm in a space where I'm riding along and I want to practice it and or I want to show someone how to do it, you know, do I look for that steep section, maybe even a little bump in the snow that allows that snowmobile to really stand up on itself? Let's remember that, you know, a hop over can be used as this really cool feeling way that I go up, I go straight up into the fall line, the sled is wheeling almost over backwards, and boom, you make this big dramatic hop over and go the other way. But the other part of that is that it's just still a transition. You can still come into a slope with some momentum and seek the fall line uphill, get hopped over, and go the opposite direction. It may not look like a lot of the stuff that you guys are seeing on film, but you did the same thing. And we call that just transitioning, going from a left or a right side hill, and you are hopping over uphill, getting to that uphill running board, setting your sled into that counter-steered position, and away you go in the opposite direction that you came. Can you get it done on a stock sled? Absolutely. Is it easier and maybe it's more for show to do it on a modified sled? Well, the sleds that you guys see most of us doing, these ones that are just wow, loud and in your face, yeah, they're modified. And there's a lot of what we would call mountain stock sleds that are out here, where they don't have to be big bores, they don't have to be big turbos, but they are modified in the sense that they could have different suspension, adjusted suspension that helps that front end come up, almost like a Polaris Chaos. Having a lightweight can, having a gear down kit, being clutched properly. Those are types of things that are still kind of in that stock realm, and guys are getting it done just fine. I have done numerous hopovers, numerous bow ties throughout my season this year, all aboard a stock snowmobile. All right, everybody, that's a wrap, hopefully. And you guys remember, whether you're calling this a stunt, a tool for the toolbox, whatever it looks like, it's gonna take practice. It's not something you're gonna go out and you're gonna lace this thing the first time you try it. You know, I'm always telling people, like, set yourself up for success. So find those areas, you know, find some snow where you know you can set the sled in and do it safely, and practice on some shallower slopes first. Just get the movement down, and then as you start to get more and more comfortable with that, both left and right side, then you can start looking at steeper hills, and sooner or later you're gonna get it. But let's remember that a hop over, guys, we wanna wear all the right gear. So you're always wearing a helmet, always wearing a tether. chest gear, I mean, and knee pads, that whole protection. I mean, once we start letting go of the sled and getting way away from it like we are doing in a Hopover, I would just stress the safety component to that. So hopefully this video helped you guys. I'm trying to make it a step-by-step. It's one of the most popular, probably one of the most talked about moves in snowmobiling that's literally changed snowmobiling as we know it. So anyway, leave those questions and comments below. Again, guys, we really appreciate those subscriptions, and we'll see you next time. Woo!